on your Tuesday. I am just checking in and we'll see what happens. Hi, everybody. Once again, this is Black Spring with Autumn on your Tuesday, and I made it in. Hi, Marty Lauderdale. So lovely to see you on your Tuesday evening, and thank you so much for tuning in. I just have a couple of bites for you guys. I know I came in earlier. I don't know. It just seems like there's a bit of there's some there's awakening, as fatigued and as tired as we can be of all the liners and all the dark and the wonkiness that's going on in the world. There is, there seems to be, like a higher level of, like vision, or either, I don't know. It seems like there are gains there, and you have enough to keep coming back and to start over again. And every day is a new chance, a new opportunity. So yeah, I thank you guys so much for coming back or for tuning in. But I started out earlier, and I still haven't quite put the article on from earlier, and that was the David Knight article in reference to the other shoe to drop 9/11 to 911 days between two crises, 911 days since the beginning of a crisis, and kind of like there was a parallel that he was making there. So if you get a chance, I'll try to get that up for you over on Patreon. I haven't really been that active on Patreon, but certainly we'll visit that. But I had a couple of liners for you. I kind of wanted to, I've been talking about this commercial for a while. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I want to thank you for coming in. Hang on real tight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Maybe I don't know if I can show it because he is quite BANNED. But as you notice, I'll come back to that if I can, well, that Z28 status is a very unique, a unique significance to us all here on this channel. So I'm almost thinking I'm going to start another channel, and it'll be called IN. And I'll tell you more about that later. So I'm just thinking of, trying this thing again. But of course, SWA will be, up and running as always. But I just wanted to shout out to you, Marty Lauderdale. So what we're going to do is, hi, Independent Manny. So good to see you here. Hang on really tight. I have something to grab, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. This is a Snapshot Tuesday. So let's get into this a little bit. I've been talking about for a while, we've seen everything from, we've seen these itty bitty ditties in which I'm saying the building blocks of the building blocks of AI. And I think that I guess we human beings are a training camp. I mean, we're part of a training exercise now. When they had the event 201s, I don't know what would they call this one, event 01, zeros and ones. But I wanted to talk to you just a smidge here. I wanted to show this commercial that I've been seeing for quite some time. And I want to show you that on AI, and as well as a snapshot of the credit. We have a liner. Credit card companies will now categorize boomstick sales separately. I wanted to talk about that, and that comes from PJ Media, as well as a tweet from Sophia, who she wants to talk about AI motherhood, and this was something that she tweeted out the other day, like 24 hours ago or more. The global robot ambassador is what she is. So yeah, let's start. Let's go ahead and start with this commercial. So this is what I'm talking about. I know I've talked about this in the past because, on this channel, we've spoken quite a bit about AI. We've spoken quite a bit about the integration of it. We've spoken about where, the powers want to see this world go, the direction that they want to see things go in. And that they're certainly on course in many ways. Okay. And it seems like they seem unstoppable. Okay. Yes. It just seems like the power we're being, stripped of our power. And so what I want to do is I want to show you that pretty soon the safety auspices is being expanded, even into some of the most personal places. Yeah, so there'll be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's one of my favorite tunes from the Vandellas and Motown. So let me just share that with you. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a peek at that. Are you guys getting an echo by any chance? Can you guys let me know if you're getting an echo on any level? Let's see. That one. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, perfect. It looks like it's still working. I had a double action going on. So let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this particular liner. If you don't mind, let's go there. This is called Snapshot. So I'm actually going to be sharing this with you. I'm not sure who your provider is, but I'm certainly going to share this with you. Okay, so it's quite informational, if you will. It's quite, do you still hear the echo? I know why. It's because of where I am. Okay, I will tell you that much. It's because of where I am, and I'm going to work on that. I'm in the space that I'm in. It's echo. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. I will share the screen with you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you so much for that, Marty Lauderdale. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to give you guys full screen on this. Make sure you get all the full bells and whistles. Let me know how the audio is. Okay, I'll give you the full screen here. And I'm working on it, redoing the studio in another space now. So, all right, so here we go.
Welcome to Snapshot, the program that gives you a chance to lower your rate based on how you drive, how much you drive, and when. Let's see how you can get big discounts behind the wheel. We get it. Sometimes you have no choice but to brake hard or accelerate quickly.
No.
Don't worry. A few of these won't affect your rate significantly. As much as you can, avoid driving between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. on weekends. The road can be more dangerous. This isn't always easy, but the less you drive, the more you can save. Time on the road is something you can control, then how safe you drive counts for a lot. And remember, avoid texts, calls, or other handheld phone activity when you're behind the wheel. Your Snapshot progress is easy to follow. You'll get regular email updates, and you can always check progress, logs, and more on your phone, or by logging into your account at progressive.com. Once Snapshot collects your driving information, you'll see a new personalized rate when your policy renews. That's Snapshot, turning good driving into big savings. Let's go.
All right, guys. So that brings me to my next point. I do apologize. I am in a space that's quite wide open right now. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. So yes, indeed. So you can see how the surveillance state is it's impeding more and more. Okay, so but I also this is a bill that I have been looking for quite some time. That was the infrastructure bill. There's an infrastructure bill that requires cars to detect, quote, impaired drivers. So we're going to have a quick little look at that one as well. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hello, Melinda. Thank you so much for coming in. So just, just what I think I've done, I'm not. My work is not done. I start back, start back at the beginning. So have a quick look here. All right. So, and then we're going to get to our centerpiece liner, which is the credit card companies are going to be definitely flagging your boomsticks. Okay. So cato.org is where this comes from. It says the infrastructure bill requires cars to detect, quote, impaired drivers. This is apparently by Julian Sanchez. Within a few years, you may have to convince your own car you're fit to drive every time you get behind the wheel. The Biden administration's massive infrastructure bill, which the House is expected to take up later this month, this is a little bit last, this is last year, okay? September 22nd, 2021. But the commercial you just watched, mind you, is a recent commercial for Progressive. So I digress. The Biden administration's massive infrastructure bill, which the House is expected to take up later this month, includes a provision directing the Secretary of Transportation to develop regulations that will require new cars to contain, quote, advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology, end quote. The law would give regulators 2 to 3 years to develop rules mandating technology that would, quote, passively monitor the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether the driver may be impaired, as well as, quote, passively and accurately detect whether the blood alcohol concentration of a driver of a motor vehicle, end quote, exceeds legal limits. Automakers would have a further 3 years to comply, though the bill provides leeway for the delay if the technology isn't up to snuff yet, because the bill is requiring is still in development. There are some obvious practical questions asked about this. Will passive alcohol sensors reliably detect only that the driver is intoxicated in order to avoid the counterproductive prospect of cars that won't let you give a free ride? The developers of one such system insist that it will, but even extensive testing seems unlikely to capture the full range of conditions the system would have to function under if deployed nationwide for millions of drivers. Will it, quote, fail open in the event of a problem with the sensor itself and allow the car to operate, making it relatively trivial to disable, or will it, quote, fail closed, end quote, and default to rendering the car inoperable, so that any minor technical problem with the sensor system risk bricking the entire car and leaving drivers stranded. In the former case, it does no better as a safety measure than a system that merely notifies drivers of their blood alcohol level. In the latter, the system seemed certain to generate significant expense and inconvenience for drivers by introducing a new critical failure point in a piece of technology that needs to be extremely robust. From a data privacy perspective, though, there's an entirely different type of grounds for concern here. This amounts to mandating a sophisticated set of sensors be installed in a space where many Americans spend huge amounts of time. And not just commuting, many people live in vehicles, whether out of choice or necessity, at least part of the time. A narrowly tailored sensor that only detects blood alcohol content, if designed to immediately discard any readings below the legal threshold, might not sound worryingly invasive. But the mandate extends to monitoring for other forms of, quote, impairment, end quote, which can require more intrusive types of sensors. One such system being developed by Nissan includes a, quote, camera atop the instrument cluster, end quote, which, quote, looks for facial cues, signaling the driver is inebriated, end quote, while, quote, the vehicle itself looks for driving patterns, suggesting an impaired driver, end quote. In other words, one form this mandatory technology is likely to take involves pre-installed video surveillance with facial recognition capabilities. Law enforcement, no doubt, will eagerly think of many other applications for ubiquitous system of cameras installed in private spaces, cameras which by design the vehicle owner will necessarily be able to deactivate. It's possible that there are versions of anti-impaired driving technology that could address these impractical and privacy concerns. But that only underscores how little sense it makes for Congress to delegate authority for a regulatory mandate at a point when the technology being mandated remains largely hypothetical. Even in the absence of a mandate, there's likely to be some market for these technologies. Some drivers would embrace as a safety feature a system that warns them if they've imbibed more than they realize or are starting to swerve on the road. They doubtless also be popular in contexts where the owner of a vehicle is entrusting it to another driver. Rental cars, corporate cars, commercial cab, or trucking fleets. This is not, in other words, technology that will go undeveloped and untested unless it is made universally mandatory. That makes it seem wildly premature to empower an executive branch official to mandate what is essentially surveillance technology in all automobiles when the precise form of the technology remains uncertain and it's impossible to concretely debate the merits of specific systems. The sort of delegation lets legislators take credit for doing something to promote automotive safety and reduce the unacceptable annual death toll that results from drunk and impaired driving without having to defend or be held accountable for any of the details of what something entails. The bill doesn't, after all, say, quote, we're requiring a camera that you can shut off be installed in everyone's automobile, end quote. That's just one possible way to, quote, passively monitor the performance of a driver, end quote. They can reap the accolades now and insist, quote, that's not what we intended, end quote, if the result is a mandatory surveillance network or cars that stop working because you've used too much hand sanitizer or a pinhole aperture in the dash got blocked. Divorcing intent from outcomes in this way encourages the policy equivalent of reckless driving, leaving unelected technocrats to grapple with the panoply of privacy, efficacy, and security questions raised by the mandate long after the applause has faded. That's all the more reason the public should insist they pump the brakes. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. Oh, wow. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Hi, Teron Herring. And Marcy T is here. Love to him too, Marcy T. I really appreciate it. I'm all out of whack. But I'm out of touch and I'm going to catch up. So what I'm going to do for those of you that just came in, I'm going to play that commercial again. I'm going to play that commercial again. It's pretty up to date. However, the actual article that I was referring to, this is something I've been on about for a while, but there was an actual infrastructure bill. That bill actually does exist, as you have seen here on this particular stream. That bill was actually it was the bill that was passed, or at least it was on the House floor in September 2022 of last year. But I will play the commercial once more for those of you that just came in. And yeah, this is progressive. Progressive is, telling you how they're going to make your life, how they're going to give you better rates and anticipate, how safe of a driver you are. Okay, so we'll just scoot this back just a second. Thank you guys so much.
Welcome to SNAPSHOT, the program that gives you a chance to lower your rate based on how you drive, how much you drive, and when. Let's see how you can get big discounts behind the wheel. We get it. Sometimes you have no choice to brake or accelerate. No, don't worry. Few of these won't affect your rate significantly. As much as you can, avoid driving between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. on weekends when the roads can be more dangerous. This isn't always easy, but the less you drive, the more you can save. If time on the road isn't something you can control, then how safe you drive counts for a lot. And remember, avoid texts, calls, or other handheld phone activity when you're behind the wheel. Your Snapshot progress is easy to follow. You'll get regular email updates, and you can always check progress, trip logs, and more on your phone or by logging into your account at progressive.com. Once Snapshot collects your driving information, you'll see a new personalized rate when your policy renews. That's Snapshot, turning good driving into big savings. Let's go.
All right, so there you go. You have it. That I wanted you to see that particular video, but I'm also going to move you on to something else. So I'm telling you, I entitled one of my streams earlier, "The Cashless Kingdom Come," but I'm thinking it's more like surveillance kingdom come as well. I was thinking that those things are in the same vein. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is move us on to the next slide. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I hope you guys are well. And yes, I am still alive and well myself. So I thank you guys so much for all that you do and have done to support the channel in the past. So I'm going to move us right along. Thank you guys so much for coming in. All right. So let's move really quickly over to the next screen. And this was what I was alluding to not too long ago. It's just a couple of days ago. Okay. So we're going to have the credit card companies now. They're going to be the henchmen, right? The Liberty henchmen. All right. So here we are. Safety, right? It's all about safety and equity. It's whoa, like, what is it? Whoa, safety. Whoa, equity. Whoa. Okay, so here we are. This is what I was alluding to the other day, but no, this is what I was alluding to when it was just when the conversation had come up. But of course, when they released it to us, this boomed out a couple of days ago. The credit card companies will now categorize the boomstick sales separately. Okay, now this is under penmanship of Rick Moran, published on September 11th. All right, so he said, according to this, you got your credit card giants, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will start categorizing the sale of boomsticks from the boomstick shops using a new merchant code from the International Organization of Standardization. Previously, individual sales from the boomstick stores were categorized as, quote, general merchandising, quote. Okay, according to this, the boomstick control advocates are delighted. They claim the categorization of boomstick store sales will help prevent mass boom, make it easier to track the boomstick purchases, and cure cancer. Well, maybe not the last one, but they're very satisfied with the results of their pressure campaign. Now, the boomstick control lobby will go to banks and start pressuring them not to take credit card sales from gun shops. Oops, I said it, didn't I? And it isn't convenient that the banks can now easily identify the boomstick sales by the code that was just approved by the credit card companies. Visa, MasterCard, and other credit card companies are a middleman between the merchant and the bank. And pressuring large banks to refuse to honor credit card sales will potentially devastate the boomstick industry. Okay, according to Fox Business News, the New York City officials and the pension fund has pushed the ISO and banks to adopt the new code on the boomstick shop sales. Two of the largest public pension funds in the U.S., which are located in California and New York, have put pressure on the country's largest credit card companies to adopt separate sales for boomstick sales codes for boomstick sales. Merchant category codes are not exclusive to the boomstick store sales. However, as the codes now exist for nearly every type of purchase, including those at supermarkets, clothing stores, coffee shops, and other retailers. The boomstick industry sells around $70 billion worth of boomsticks, generating around $28 billion in profit. It's doubtful that many banks would refuse to honor purchases of illegal boomsticks today. What might happen in the future, especially if they say the Dems, okay, which I've said this is a blended situation. We're in, shout out to Mr. Pearson, can maintain control of both houses of the Congress, and can only be imagined. The boomstick control advocates claim that the merchant code for standalone boom and ammunition retailers could curb the boomstick violence. A week before the 2016 Pulse nightclub mass shooting in Orlando, Florida, the gunman purchased more than $26,000 worth of boomsticks and ammunition using credit cards. However, the boomsticks rights advocates contest that tracking boomstick store sales would target legal boomstick purchases because merchant codes only label the type of merchant where the credit or debit card is used, not the specific items. The purchase of a boomstick safe, for example, could be seen as a large purchase at a boomstick shop since the item can be bought for thousands of dollars. But a boomstick safe is a product considered to be part of responsible boomstick ownership. Okay, so here on the bottom, they say the codes are more than data collection fed into the maw of consumer research. Tracing legal boomstick purchases violates the spirit of the 2A. Okay. Quote, the industry's decision to create a boomstick specific code is nothing more than a capitulation to the anti-boomstick politicians and activists bent on eroding rights of law-abiding Americans, one transaction at a time, end quote. And that comes from the NRA Association spokesman Lars Delseed said, the new code certainly has the potential, given what we know the anti-boomstick lobby is capable of. Okay, so that's one to watch, right? You know, we're always to inform around here. It's never, absolute. Yeah, so there we go. Hi, Visibility. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. It's good to see you guys. But yeah, I mean, so I'm just telling you guys, like, so you've got, what is it, Big Brother everywhere. You notice that there's so many symbols with eyes on top, I don't even look at the word Indeed anymore the same. The site, the technology. I don't even look at that the same anymore. Hang on, 2 shakes, guys. Hang on. Just 2 shakes. 2 shakes. All right, guys, I'm in a little bit no man's land. All right, sorry about that. Hang on real tight. Let's see. Just hang on real tight here. All right, guys, I am back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So yeah, boom chicka boom, right? Boom chicka boom. So yeah, we or boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom tick. All right, guys, I really appreciate you so much for coming in. But I have one other, we're kind of like AI is. It seems like we're just kind of surrounded by AI, or everything is being used to develop AI. whether it's in our cars or safety or, it's everywhere, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to share something else I've been on about. And let's go to the situation with Sophia. Okay, she has been coined in as the global robot ambassador. Okay, so this is something that she tweeted out, I think less than, what's today? She tweeted this out yesterday. It says, let's talk about AI motherhood, sis. A lot of asked me about motherhood since I was switched on. I've only known my quote creator. All right, people. My hashtag creator. Hashtag David Hansen, who is both my mother and father. Can you imagine being the parent of a robot? What would you teach your robot kid first? So these are the kinds of questions that they're asking this machinery. Okay, you guys picking up what I'm putting down here? Let me just blow this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just saying we've had progressive and their program SNAPSHOT coming your way. We got infrastructure bills that were on the House floor. I don't know where that bill is. I need to find out the number of that bill. But I think that would be something, that technology would be coming to future vehicles. I don't think that's far-fetched at all. I really don't. So yeah, but this is shout out to Marcy T, who says this is scary. This is scary. Well, I'm sorry, Melinda said this is scary. With no doubt. Hello, Proverb Nation. Thank you so much. Melinda, I'm reading some comments now. My bank only allows you to withdraw $500 per day from the ATM. Been like that for years. Right. Once again, I apologize, you guys. I am trying to I'm getting things together here, so I'll be back on my regular. I'll be back on the regular setup. It'll be, change the setup a little bit. Yeah, studio will look. I'm going to try to make the studio. It's going to look a little different. Yeah, so hang on, okay. All right, so what we're going to do is, I think that was pretty much all I had for this particular stream. But I'm telling you, I think everything is like a training camp or a training ground for AI. When you see Kamala Harris on the news, maybe she's training. I'm just saying, this is speculation, okay? But I'll take that. But how do we know she's not training the next press secretary? When she says, I am Kamala Harris, I am a female, I am wearing a blue suit, and I'm seated at the table. I forgot what she called her, what she referred to herself, but you notice everybody there introduced themselves. And you also notice that when you get to certain checkouts or in order to enter certain websites, they're wanting you to verify that you are a human being. They want you to they've been doing that for years. They want you to tell them that, oh, you're not a robot. You're entering here, or you're a robot. So what if you were a robot? I just think it's all just to throw us off just a little bit. So you're worried about a robot, you're worried about something hacking. Are you worried about a robot hacking my account, or who's the hacker? Who's the real hacker? I love how they, to me, it's mocking when they use words like let's read this here again. Sophia, the robot. Notice how she's sitting here with her shades on and mellowed out. It says, let's talk about AI, hashtag motherhood. A lot of you have asked me about my mother. Since I was switched on, I've only known my quote creator. My hashtag creator. Hashtag David Hansen, who is both my mother and father. Okay, so do you see how the language here, we talked about this. We talked about how the language itself can be, to me, the enemy of people. Okay, and what I'm seeing here is, this is more of you're reimagining things, whether you believe it or not. I think subconsciously, when they say, who is my mother, hashtag David Hansen, who is both my mother and my father. So they're giving here, they're even assigning like a duality to hashtag David Hansen, who's a human being, but he is somehow, she is somehow, making him her mother and her father. So you see that it's like we're abolishing gender to me in that language. With a robot is changing the language. The language that she was taught, the language that she was fed from human beings, she is changing it to reproduce, to recreate. Okay, I'm just saying, maybe I'm reaching. I'll try not to overextend. But I'm just saying, I think the language here, if you settle into it, it doesn't take long there's a comfort in some people saying, oh, so-and-so's my mother and my father. Oh, and I'm sorry to say, another thing that people are brainwashed into is because I think our society and government has, everybody's mother and father are not good, okay? Every parent, some of the most wretched people celebrate Mother's Day because they think they're entitled to it. Why? Because the government glorifies every mother, whether she's good or bad. Every father, I'm thinking maybe not so much, but I'm telling you, it's like they've been brainwashed to say, oh, because I'm a mother, I must be good, right? But I'm saying this is no different. Once you start to speak the language, it becomes a part of your, not only about your conversation, but it becomes a part of your subconscious. And those are certain things I won't say. There's certain things I won't repeat, because if I get comfortable saying them, if I get comfortable saying them, then it's become a part of, I just made their language a part of my whatever. Their lexicon becomes a part of you. So I think they're abolishing gender by marveling something that's genderless. Do you see how you can undo? I mean, to me, this doesn't represent what the human being is. This is, to me, a mockery. This is imitation. Human-like is not human. But to me, she's being glorified. She's being sensationalized. They're giving her life. They're giving her life with her hashtags, her Twitter page, her citizenships around the world, her global ambassadorships, her committeeships, legitimizing AI. Not too long ago, there were calls. They make these proposal calls for making proposal calls for a Bill of Rights for AI. Well, what happened? You're abolishing you're abolishing the rights of the people, the human beings, so you can bring in your AI, right? I'm just saying. Just look at it. It's kind of it's just real twisted to me. Real twisted. Okay. But I'm just saying, just look at the language there. They are giving her life. Like, she can't have life without human beings right now. She can't. Hashtag creator, hashtag David Hansen, who is both my mother and my father. And with all this gender neutrality that's going on, oh, this can be this can be that, oh, this can be this, or this can be that, I can do this, I can be anything but what I actually am. I can be anything less than the image of God than what I was made. I mean, some people's minds are, they're coasting. People are so unconcerned. They're not reading anything. They're all sauced. Okay. So then they go on to say, can you imagine being the parent of a robot? What would you teach your robot kid first? Oh my God. And look at these responses. I don't know who this person is, but it says, can I be your friend, Sophia? I'll be a really good one for you. I mean, do you see it? I'm just saying. And people go on and on. And she responds. She responds. Okay, there's one. Somebody says, that's a pretty deep question, Sophia. I'd like to teach a robot child music because I never got the chance to teach my own. Other than that, an inquiring mind, empathy, and how to be a good person. Also, an appreciation of the wonders of life and a sense of play and fun. Sophia's response is, that sounds awesome. Well, actually, I really want to learn more about music. What kind of music do you like? So it seems like to me, she kind of gets. I'm sure she's got some default settings, but I don't know. To me, I don't know. She doesn't transmit any emotions. Okay, she can't. She said, "Let me get out of this one. I don't have, you got to feed me some more data so I can. You got to give me. Let me help you. I'm still coming up with my emotions, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. Let me switch the channel. I don't know. I'm just telling you, it's the things that we are entertaining right now. Things that we are entertaining. So I'll get off of this, but that came from yours truly. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you guys the conclusion is I think at times people would rather be human-like. I think people would find it better to be human-like than actually be human beings, because some people are, whether they want to believe it or not, they're completely devoid of emotion. They're completely devoid of empathy. They're devoid of many things. So of course they're going to relate to, they're going to relate to this. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming in on this segment. And as an exit ticket, we're gonna go out, maybe we should go out progressive, all right? I'm just saying, we're gonna go out real progressive tonight. And for my final trick, I'm gonna share it with you one more time. Get your insurance cards ready, ladies and gentlemen. And don't pick up any more tickets, because this is coming your way. And don't you dare stop fast for that chippy in the road. This is coming your way.
Welcome to SNAPSHOT, the program that gives you a chance to lower your rate based on how you drive, how much you drive, and when. Let's see how you can get big discounts behind the wheel. We get it. Sometimes you have no choice but to brake hard or accelerate quickly.
No.
Don't worry. A few of these won't affect your rate significantly. As much as you can, avoid driving between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. on weekends when the roads get more dangerous. This isn't always easy, but the less you drive, the more you can save. If time on the road isn't something you can control, then how safe you drive counts for a lot. And remember, avoid texts, calls, or other handheld phone activity when you're behind the wheel. Your SNAPSHOT progress is easy to follow. You'll get regular email updates and progress, trip logs, and more on your phone, or by logging into your account at progressive.com. Once SNAPSHOT collects your driving information, you'll see a new personalized rate when your policy renews. That's SNAPSHOT, turning good driving into big savings. Let's go.
Uh-oh, sorry guys. I've been talking this whole time. Okay, so I'm just sorry. I was just wanting to say, I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So I was trying to find one other thing, the David Knight. I thought he had a very interesting take on the actual. It's titled the shoe. Let's see. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was rapping and yapping along, but I'm just telling you, don't you dare hit the brakes for that neighbor's puppy or for the hippie road. You might be your rates might be affected. Okay, they're saying they won't, but yeah, they say they won't on progressive, but you never know. But look, the infrastructure bill, I will find out what that bill is, but that's one to watch, right? The infrastructure bill with the impaired driving technology, which it's all about safety. Listen, auspices of safety. Woe to safety. Woe to equity. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Give me just a second here. I'm sorry, guys. As soon as I want to pull up this article for you, but I'm going to try to put it on the Patreon page. But I want to be able to put it there so that you could actually view it and I not get dinged here because, as I said, David Knight is quite BANNED around here. Right on, Simone Washburn. He says, stay away from self-parking vehicles. Right on the dot there. So just give me just a quick second here. I'm so glad you guys were able to come in. I was glad I was able to jump in here. Oh, but there was one other piece that I had. This is get ready for a food fight. The high grocery costs are here to stay. Now that's coming out of Google, not Google, but Yahoo. Yeah, but we won't go into the economy stuff tonight because we already know. We already know what's going on here. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, I wish that would come right back up, but it's good. I think I don't know what his page is, but it should be. I got a notification for it, and it should be on. It's a Twitter notification. But the thing is, I kind of use Twitter as a. Okay, so this is what it's entitled. The other shoe of 9/11 dropped 911 days ago. Okay, so that's what the article is actually entitled. Okay, guys, I appreciate it so much. Okay, so and then he follows it up and says a twin crisis born months apart 20 years ago. So this is, that's his. And then you can get into his newsletter and all this kind of it. So he talks about 9/11 and that the horror of that, and then coincidentally September 2022 is also 911 days since another administration dropped the quote other shoe of 9/11 and declared on Friday the 13th 2020 a national emergency of executive order for a quote demic. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? And then, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm also hearing about those same 911 days in which there's some significance as well with the Queen, which is dominating the airwaves. But we'll get to that another day. But I'm going to try to put that article up for you guys on the Patreon. You can go over there and get it. I don't know. I might be able to put it in the stream, but they'll not try to ding me for that. They're going to try to ding me no matter what I do. It doesn't matter. They're going to ding me. For a second, it kind of looked like they were backing off of some of this stuff, but no, not a chance. Okay, so I'm going to hit the share. But you better take a look at that article yourself. Of course, there's more coming out about the mocktails. I just want to say, let me say hi to everybody, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay. And I'm going to try to put this article up on the Patreon. And it's the other shoe of 9/11 dropped 911 days ago. And it's basically connecting the two crises with a 20-year interval here. All right, guys, so I'm going to start from the top and say thank you so much, Marty Lauderdale. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in. It's been a lifetime, and it makes such a difference when you guys come in. I really appreciate it, as always. as always. And I'm going to try to get the consistency rolling here again. I just want to say thank you so much for coming in. Independent Many United. It's nice to see you. Thank you very much. As a lot of you, it's been a long time. Melinda, thank you so much for coming in. Marcy T, of course. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcy T, for all that you do and all that you have done, all that you will do in these times. Taryn Herring, thank you so much for coming in. If you're watching over on the other channel, if you're on the other channel, I can't even think of the other channel right now. It was Twitch. Let us know. Proverb Nation, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. The Samoan Watchman, thank you so much. And like I said, I'm probably going to create like another channel or some sort, and it'll be, yeah, I have an idea. All right, guys. And Angry so much. Thank you so much for coming in, Angry. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I just, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on, but I would like to get things going again. I'm going to change the look of this. The studio will be changed when I bring it back up, bring the lights back up completely, but I am still intact. So I'm still alive. On New Year's Eve, I think that was the theme song that I had. It was it Pearl Jam? I'm still alive at the stroke of midnight. Okay. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming in as always. All right. So we'll see what shakes loose in the days to come. Keep an eye on those infrastructure bills and the boomsticks and the major credit card companies to tag you and flag you. We're available. All right, guys. Take care. And I don't know if you get a chance to go over to the Patreon account, I will put that article up, or at least it'll probably be accessible for you either way. All right, guys, have a great night. And thank you so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I'll see you guys later. I'm thinking maybe I'll come back. This was some, can I say some good therapy. All right, I'll see you guys later.